Sun Chemical of Muskegon safety comes first, and that includes environmental safety and the safety of all visitors to our facility. This short presentation will provide you with necessary information about our safety procedures and other requirements designed to ensure your safety while on site. Sun Chemical is the world's largest producer of printing inks and pigments and a leading provider of materials to packaging, publication, coatings, plastics, cosmetics, and other industrial markets, including electronic materials, functional and specialty coatings, brand protection, and product authentication technologies.
We employ approximately 10,000 people worldwide, including 170 men and women at the Muskegon facility.
As a visitor, you are personally responsible for your actions while on site. You must follow all safety instructions and wear required personal protective equipment. Compliance with our drug and alcohol policy is vital for the protection of visitors as well as the employees here at Sun Chemical.
The use and possession of alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs on Sun Chemical property is prohibited. Any person appearing to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs shall be refused admittance. Sun Chemical is a non-smoking facility, with the exception of designated outdoor areas equipped with cigarette butt receptacles. Remember, smoking is not allowed in any vehicle inside the gate.
When visiting Sun Chemical of Muskegon, park in the visitor parking lot located at gate number 2. All visitors must access the plant through security in the main administration building. Each visitor must sign the visitor's log, watch this orientation video, then read and sign a copy of our visitor and vendor health, safety, and environmental requirements prior to entering the grounds. You'll then be issued an ID badge, which must be displayed at all times. As a guest at our facility, you may not enter or move about the property without the escort or authorization of a Sun Chemical representative. Remember to sign in and out at the security office every time you enter and exit the facility. If your vehicle requires entrance into the plant, you'll first need a vehicle pass from security located at gate 2. Be aware that the number of vehicles parked on site is limited. If you're parked inside gates 1 or 3, leave your keys in the ignition, display your parking pass, and park in designated areas.
The speed limit is 10 miles per hour, and you're required to wear your seatbelt while driving on the property.
Use extreme caution while driving since the roadways are shared with large and small vehicles and pedestrians. You should also be aware that any vehicle on Sun Chemical property is subject to search at any time. Personal protective equipment called PPE helps protect you from hazards that in many cases are difficult to control and anticipate. PPE can be equipment or clothing that protects the individual from injury. It includes head, face, eye, hearing, respiratory, hand, foot, and body protection. In all cases, the proper selection and use of PPE is essential to your safety. As a visitor at Sun Chemical, you're required to wear a hard hat, safety glasses with side shields, a sleeved shirt, and safety-toed shoes at all times. Additional personal protective equipment may be required in specific areas of the facility. And remember, always wear your hard hat with the bill facing forward. This helps to protect your face from any chemicals that may drip from above. Safety glasses are required to have fixed side shields and be ANSI Z87 approved. Slide-on temporary side shields are not allowed. Hard hats must meet ANSI standard Z89.1 Type 1 or Z89.2 Type 2. Metal hard hats or bum caps are not permitted. The use of unapproved clothing and footwear is not allowed. Examples include canvas shoes, sneakers, house shoes, sleeveless shirts, tank tops, and shorts. Neckties, unrestricted long hair, beards, and jewelry are also prohibited. You have the right to know and understand the hazards of chemicals that you may be potentially exposed to while visiting Sun Chemical. For that reason, Sun Chemical of Muskegon has made any and all facility SDSs available online. If you have a question or want to see information pertaining to an SDS used at the plant, contact your Sun Chemical plant representative. Proper care of the environment is very important to Sun Chemical of Muskegon. Do not bring any chemical onto the facility without prior approval. To get approval, the safety data sheet must be submitted to your plant representative. If you create or see a chemical spill of any type or size, immediately notify your plant representative. This includes spills of fuels or oils. In order to prevent harm, always be aware of chemical hazards and stay clear of areas where a chemical hazard may exist, such as chemical unloading operations. If chemical contact occurs to your eyes or skin, speed is essential. Ample amounts of water must be used to flush away the chemical and cool sensitive tissues that have come in contact with the chemical.
For eye exposure, wash eyes with flowing water at the nearest eye bath, holding the eyes open for a minimum of 15 minutes. For skin exposure, wash the skin with flowing water in a safety shower while removing shoes and clothing. If goggles are worn, do not remove them until the chemical is washed away from the hair, face, and hands.
Seek immediate medical attention following the shower by notifying security. Locate the nearest phone and dial 0, then state your emergency and location. Any chemical exposure must also be reported to your Sun Chemical plant representative as soon as possible. One of the materials used at Sun Chemical is called dichlorobenzidine, more commonly referred to as DCB. DCB is highly regulated and requires a pre-planning meeting prior to any work involving DCB or any DCB systems. DCB systems are in the IBTZ building located on the south side of the main plant across from the tank farm. DCB is also located in the DCB warehouse on the west end of the HVF plant. Both areas are secure, so unauthorized personnel are not allowed in without proper training and permission. Never enter an area that is barricaded for any reason unless you are granted permission by an authorized Sun Chemical employee. Being prepared for an emergency can mean the difference between a non-serious injury and one that threatens a life. Immediate notification is essential for an emergency situation in order to provide medical assistance to someone in need and also to warn other visitors, Sun Chemical employees, or contractors in the area.
To report an emergency or to request emergency assistance, use the phone and dial 0 or 389. This will connect you with Sun Chemical security.
We use specific internal alarm signals to alert employees to 4 types of emergencies: fire evacuation, shelter in place, severe weather, and emergency response required. For fire evacuation, the fire alarm is used for notification. When you hear this alarm, you should stop what you are doing and proceed in an orderly fashion to the nearest outside assembly area. Stay at the assembly area until the all clear is announced. In the event of a large-scale chemical release, a shelter-in-place announcement will be broadcast over the PA system. Instead of evacuating to the outside assembly areas, the instructions over the PA system will be to proceed to the shelter-in-place inside assembly area.
These are located in various areas of the plant as shown here. In the intermediate building locker room, the TZ control room, the engineering office, the HVF conference room, the main plant lunchroom, the administration men's locker room, and the security office.
Again, stop what you are doing and proceed calmly to the nearest shelter-in-place assembly area. Stay at the assembly area until released by the all clear message announced over the paging system. If you're in a remote building or remote area of the property, seek shelter in the nearest building and stay inside. Make sure all exterior doors and windows are closed. All doors adjacent to the shelter room should also be closed. The severe weather alarm sounds in the event of high winds, tornadoes, or other forms of severe weather. The alarm sounds like this.
Severe weather.
Again, stop what you are doing and proceed calmly to the nearest severe weather shelter.
The locations for the severe weather shelters are the TZ bathroom, the IB locker room, the engineering conference room, the hallway behind the HVF office area, the hourly employees locker room, and the salaried men's locker room. Stay at the shelter area until released by the all clear message announced over the paging system.
The emergency response required alarm sounds like this.
Emergency response required.
Members of the Sun Chemical Emergency Response Team, or ERT, are the only personnel required to respond to this alarm. However, you may want to pay close attention during this alarm just in case there are further instructions for other plant employees. Our goal is for every employee, contractor, and visitor to leave our facility the same way they arrived, injury-free. Plan safety into everything you do and follow all safety procedures. Learn the hazards of your surroundings and take all necessary precautions. Always wear the proper personal protective equipment, and most of all, watch out for each other and ask questions if something looks wrong. When in doubt, ask. And when you have a choice between safety and productivity, we ask that you choose safety every time. Your safety is important to us and to the success of Sun Chemical. Have a safe and successful visit to our facility.